yesterday is the fact of what it was, what was filed. Okay, is it says child custody, it says visitation, it says change of order. Okay, and it says temporary emergency custody order. Okay, that was filed on January 10th, 2020. Now, this is very important, okay? Because I filed the same paperwork on January 10th, 2020, and it's my order, okay? It's my request for child custody and visitation change, and it's temporary emergency custody orders, okay? It's a child custody visitation change, and other is Jason Lord not to be around minor children, okay? Now, this is January 10th, 2020, okay? Now, let me explain why this is so important. Jason had a restraining order against him. This is January 10th, 2020. They've only been dating for like a month, dude. Maybe like 3 weeks, and Jason's already beating my kids and abusing my kids. They've had the cops called to their house, their apartment off Layton, and basically Jason tried to jump out the window and try to escape from Jason because he was abusive. The same thing that Jackson's doing right now. They're trying to get away from Jason and Kendra, and RPD and the sheriff's department's been chasing my kids around Shasta County, around Anderson, because my kids are trying to get back to dad. And Judge Ryan sentenced me with a protective order last year when I got out of jail, and the district attorney's office, charged me with a crime that I never committed, right? And the fact is that I was filing emergency custody orders 2 years ago or 4 years ago. I filed emergency custody orders right before I got arrested again. I filed emergency custody orders in 2019, in 2018 when her ex-boyfriend Chris was being abusive to my kids, and she never gets arrested, and Jason never gets arrested, and they never do anything about it because Judge Gibson granted her a restraining order. This is all one safe place, and Stephanie Bridget and Children's Legacy Center now, right? And they favor people in the that have been, I guess, victims of domestic violence. But the thing is, in this case, Kendra was never a victim of domestic violence. They made all this shit up. Now, let me show you how I know that for a fact, okay? Now, I filed this paperwork. I filled it out myself, all right? And I filed it for a restraining order, right? And we had a court date on 1/27/20 for this restraining order. Okay, it was emergency custody orders. Okay, now emergency custody orders are supposed to be emergent, right? They're supposed to be an immediate danger, and this was right after my son had to file a restraining order against Jason. The cops got called there. The cops got called twice to their house, twice in one night for domestic violence for 4:15, right? And my son Jace was trying to get out the window to go call 911 because him and his brother and sister were getting abused and locked in the room. Okay, and then Jason and Kendra took his phone away from him. Right, and this is how sad this is. From the very beginning, I told Jason and Kendra that I would take the kids anytime they wanted. Just you don't have to be mean to them. You don't have to abuse them. Just let me come get them, right? And because this is the third boyfriend that Kendra's had that's been abusive to my kids. Okay, and it says right here on this order, Jason Lord not to be around minor children. Okay, and this is stamped on the 20th and received. Okay. Now, this is Judge Gibson and Commissioner Stromberg changing the record, all right? Changing the narrative of the case. Now, what did they do? They filed paperwork on Kendra's behalf, okay? Had Kendra, either Kendra filled this out herself, which that could be a possibility. Maybe somebody else did it for her. I don't know. But this is basically the same court order filed on the same exact date, and what somebody has done, Judge Gibson, has taken mine out of the case file, okay, and he's put this back in there. And what it is basically emergency custody orders that Kendra is now requested and not me. So if somebody comes and looks, like say the state attorney general or the FBI or whoever else comes to look at this case file, the judicial council, right? Anybody, they're going to see what Judge Gibson puts in there. And they're not going to see what I put in there or what I filed. Do you understand? That's all been changed. Now look how closely that this looks. It's almost identical. Okay? The only difference is the names. Right? It's almost identical to the untrained eye or to somebody that hasn't been paying attention, right? There's just little minor details. She starts the sentence right here at not to be, and this is to be. Right? Jace is not to be. Jace is not to be, right? Those little subtle differences are the reasons why I know for a fact that Judge Gibson and other judges in the Shasta County Superior Court have been changing these records and changing this case file since the beginning. And not only that, but I said that from the very beginning that the domestic violence restraining order in Shasta County was forged and it was backdated and it was changed from the original. And they all said that nope, that never happened. Nope. You're talking about court orders, you're talking about judges. Judges don't do that. And I was telling them right then and there, I said, you know what? He backdated this restraining order to argue with Sacramento County over jurisdiction. Now, if somebody's doing this, now let me be very clear with what I'm saying right now, okay? If somebody is doing this in a family law case that has to deal with my children, my 3 kids from the beginning, this is 2020. I've been arrested several times because of this case. I just got arrested again last year because Kendra was lying about me and Jason were lying about me. The social worker was lying about me, and not only that, but the district attorney's office wouldn't allow anybody else to talk to my kid, not even my lawyer, to talk to my kids and ask them questions about this case or ask them questions about their life. Everybody in this county is acting really suspicious and strange about being able to talk to my kids, and I have a protective order against me now, so I can't talk to my kids. Isn't that convenient, Judge Gibson? Nobody can talk to the kids, and now I can't talk to the kids. And then basically the county has control over their medical records and medical decisions. That's modern day slavery. So I want you to be very clear. I want you to look at this, okay? This is mine. This is Kendra's, okay? Mine, Kendra's, right? They're the same order. That means that this is the same handwriting. That means Commissioner Strongberg created this with Judge Gibson. I guarantee it. Created this for this case file and took mine out. Because I guarantee you, if you look in that case file right now, you're not going to find both of these together. They're not going to be there. It's going to be one. Okay? And let me show you something, all right? This is very important, okay? She asked for full custody. Basically, she asked for to take visitation away from me in this order. That never happened. Okay, but Judge Gibson was building up to investigation, so he was worried about that. So he was changing all the records. Now listen to this, okay? I am filing to get sole legal and physical custody of Jace Jackson Ava based on the fact that I am very afraid of Jacob Snyder mindset. He has an extensive criminal history with a current arrest just in December 19th. He has been harassing, screaming, or scaring children, violating probation several times. He's not taking children to school. His mother is afraid for the children's safety while well-being in his care. He lives with his mother. He has no car, no employment, and is a convicted felon. Okay, and still harassing me daily. He has been having psychotic episodes lately, which has led him to fake talking of conspiracy theories and other detrimental talk and treats to myself and threats to myself. I have no criminal history. I have a steady job and vehicle, and I am able to support myself and my children. Dude, do you just understand what I just said? Kendra didn't file this herself. Do you understand how the significance of this now? This is not filed by Kendra. This isn't even her handwriting. I'll tell you that right now. But this extensive history of criminal history and all this crap, right? I've been arrested in Shasta County because Judge Gibson. Every fucking time is because Judge Gibson. Judge Gibson's the one that granted the restraining order, and I got arrested by Provincia. Judge Gibson's the one that keeps writing this stuff in the case file and saying these negative things about me. Judge Gibson's talking about my extensive criminal history. The only reason why I have an extensive criminal history is because I keep getting arrested in Shasta County. I never violated my probation several times. That's ridiculous. You know, I'm pissed off at him. I have no respect for him. This guy's a piece of shit. Right? I have no respect for him whatsoever because he keeps doing shit like this. Right here. This right here. Look at this. This right here. He's talking about me. I'm the father of 3 children that love my kids and they love their dad. And this guy right here, he doesn't give a shit about that. The only thing he cares about is his narrative and his legal decision and the fact that everybody's been arguing with him about this fucking case for the past 7 years and he can't stand it. He can't stand the fact that he's wrong. And then I'm a good dad. So he has to make up stories about me in order to grant her court orders. Okay. Now this is what's really frustrating about this. This never happened. Dude, me and Kendra talked all the way up. Like we were talking all the way up until I'd say maybe June or July or maybe August of 2021. Like maybe a month or so before he granted her temporary custody orders of my kids. He's went back now through the case file and changed all this shit to his narrative because he was pissy at me about having evidence of forgery and evidence that I said, Judge Gibson, I have enough evidence to put you in prison for life. And I said, all I want is my kids and I just want custody of my kids. And he got pissy about it in court. He got pissy about it and started throwing a temper tantrum. Now listen to this right here. That he's been harassing me, scaring the children. Now I have never done any of that, and the only person that I scream and yell at is him because he must have mental problems. He's got dementia or something like that because he has taken this case to the such extreme that I've had to call the state attorney general's office to come investigate this because these other judges won't hold him accountable. Now, I'll tell you right now, dude, that Commissioner Stromberg knows this happened because she's the one that filled this out right here. Okay? And not only that, but this is what I mean about my criminal charges, okay? This narrative in my family law case is continued through the county to my probation officer, to social services, to the school. When I go take my kids to school in the mornings, dude, they have a restraining order that says I'm a rapist. He has no idea the significance and the severity of this case. He can't fathom, dude, what this has done to my life, my kids' life. 3 kids, dude. My kids love their dad. You know, how do you think my 11-year-old daughter feels, dude, when she goes to school and she hears teachers and other parents talking about her rapist daddy? It never fucking happened. That's why I'm so upset at him, dude. Like now, dude, I've had plenty of court dates with this man, and I can't stand him. I can't look at him, dude. And I have no respect for him. And not only that, but our community has no respect for him. And not only that, but now our community has no respect for our legal system and the judges in this county because they keep defending his ass. It's ridiculous. It's sickening. This man needs to be in prison for life. And I'm talking about just this one case. This one case, man, this man has led to the abduction of my kids and kidnapping my kids. I don't have a life anymore. I'm devoted to literally getting my kids back. Why should I go get a job and pay child support when somebody has been changing records and documents in the case file, and then lying about me? Lying about me. Extensive criminal history. Judge Gibson, the only reason why I have an extensive criminal history is because of you, bud. I was arrested two other times in my life back when I lived in Sacramento. I had a speeding ticket, dude, and a misdemeanor charge in 2011, which was used as a freaking platform for a rape case or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? It's frustrating, man. And not only that, but I'm under investigation again. Stephanie Bridget wants to arrest me again for violating probation I should have never fucking been on in the first place. Now, why shouldn't I have never been on probation in the first place? I'll tell you why, okay? We lived in Sacramento County. If she wanted a restraining order and custody orders, all she had to do was go to Sacramento County. That's it. And she never showed up for court dates in Sacramento County. Okay? Now, this man has granted her a restraining order in Shasta County, okay? And my son called me, dude, freaking crying, dude, said that he needed help and that he wanted me to pick him up. And I came up here and I got arrested by Provincia. And this man has gone through these case files and he has changed these records. He's changed these court orders. That is illegal. That makes this case null and void. And not only that, but Kendra is an accomplice to this because Kendra knows this happened, as well as Shelley Morgan and Jason Lord and Paulette Lord and Karen Henry. Every person that's been involved in this case knows what happened. Stephanie Bridget, Amara, Scott McMullen, Judge Ryan, Judge Adam Ryan, Judge Summer Ryan, they all know, they're all aware of this. And I'm sick and tired of them fucking arguing with the government and arguing with federal government, arguing with the state attorney general's office, arguing with the Department of Health and Human Services, arguing with child support, arguing with freaking senators, state senators, and other judges. They have argued everything about this case. Everything from the very beginning. And not only that, but look at what he's done, okay? Because he's been arguing, right? Because he's been arguing with everybody about this case and the legality of this case, he's basically take my orders, threw them out, wrote her a new one, and now this is the narrative in there. So when Stephanie Bridget, you know, or Judge Gibson or Alicia Endicott, right? Any of these people, they go and freaking write a report about me, or a probation report, Delana Brown, right? They write a report about me. They use this as a narrative. Because my probation officer, when I was first on probation 7 years ago, they used the same exact wording and narrative from the restraining order from Judge Gibson. Extensive criminal history, violent past, violent charges, harassing, stalking, threatening children, violation of probation. Like, they use the same exact thing over and over. That's how I know this is Judge Gibson. But not only that, he has painted her as an angel in this community. And I'll tell you something right now, okay? You may not fucking believe me, and I don't really give a shit, but Kendra is abusing our kids to get them the fuck out of this county because this guy's a fucking psycho. That's why she's been acting so weird and so crazy lately. And that's why she did all that shit to my kids, is because she was trying to give me full custody of the kids so I can get them the fuck out of here. And Shasta County wants to argue over it and basically like she needs help or she's getting help. I don't think Kendra has the kids right now. If she does, then she doesn't have Jace. And I want to know where the fuck my son is at. I'm done playing games. Judge Ryan, Summer Ryan, Judge Burgess, I'm done playing games with you guys. This is not a game anymore. Because what's going to happen, dude, is I'm going to push this so freaking hard. I'll push this all the way to the Supreme Court. I don't give a shit. I'll push it so hard, dude. I'll make sure that every single person that's involved in this case goes to prison for life. And you'll lose your kids, and your kids will be in foster care. Because I'm done playing this game of this little cat and mouse game of what's legal and what's not legal. Because this right here, bud, like Judge Ryan, this right here is illegal. It's against the law. It doesn't matter if he's a fucking judge or not, or Commissioner Stromberg's a judge or not, or Kendra's a freaking angel in this paper or not. It doesn't matter. This is illegal. You don't do this, and there's rules and laws against it, and that's why you don't do it, is because you can't kidnap kids for no reason. And this is abduction. This is abduction. This right here, this is human trafficking. Shasta County, listen, pay attention, okay? This is what I mean about human trafficking, okay? This is what I'm saying right here. This is human trafficking. It doesn't matter if there's a court order. How many times did I tell the DA that? Over and over and over. It doesn't matter if there's a court order. These court orders and these legal decisions have to be in the best interest of children. Now, how the hell did I have my son for 2 years over here doing fine? Everything's doing great. He's happy and healthy. Everything's fine. He goes, spends a couple nights, Friday nights with Kendra. He gets a gun pulled on him and a gun thrown in his face and then thrown in a mental hospital or juvenile hall or wherever else. The county's lied to everybody. The county's told everybody that he's in juvenile hall. He got arrested. Then they told the state that he's in the mental hospital. Then they told Karen and Kendra that he ran away. I'm done playing games. I don't want to hear no more excuses. I want to know where the fuck he's at and the last time you've seen him and the last police report, and I want that today. Stephanie Bridget, like I'm sick of being under investigation every fucking time you do something wrong. And this is what's gonna happen, okay? I'm pissed right now because my kids are involved and my kids fucking miss their dad. And it's been I don't give a fuck how long it's been, but it's been 2 fucking years since I've seen my kids because your fucking dumbass doesn't want to fucking investigate anybody else but me. Wake the fuck up. Now, law enforcement, I think that you should go arrest Judge Gibson for doing this shit right here. Because I wouldn't ask him if it's okay if he did it, or I wouldn't ask him who did it. I would just go fucking arrest him and go find my kids. That's what I would do. Matter of fact, I'd go sit him in a box, dude, for a little while, make him sweat a little bit until he fucking starts telling everybody where the fuck these kids are at. Unless you're involved, because then you could just go to prison with him.